Hello, welcome to today's class and today's session on CAD and mechatronics. Like we all know, we are still on our CAD system and we are still on AutoCAD. On the last class, we discussed on AutoCAD interface and we went through the basic setting up of your interface as your basic UI, UX, your user interface and your user experience. So today, we are diving into documentation on AutoCAD. Like we all know, we are still on AutoCAD, like one of the key software in CAD designing. Now, documentation on AutoCAD is a very key thing. There's this saying, you don't learn how to run first, you learn how to sit first. So that once you get to your destination, you learn how to rest. So your documentation on AutoCAD is basically how you save things, how you prepare things for other users or for on-site uses. Now let's move. Now, documentation, a key features of any CAD software tools, has been improved greatly in the most recent versions of AutoCAD. To accurately turn design into real-world structures, people in the field rely on accurate documentation. That is why Autodesk improved documentation tools in AutoCAD and AutoCAD LT. Now, like I said earlier, documentation is a very key thing on any CAD software. Like any CAD software you are using, CAD, which is an acronym for computer-aided design, must always have a good documentation system whereby you can convert things to PDF and any other viewers can easily access it via a JPEG, MP4, DWG format, RVT format, and so on and so forth, just to mention a few. So now, for you to start documenting on AutoCAD, the first thing you need to know is you need to start new documents or open existing ones with a new tab page. If you could remember on our user interface, I showed you the new tab page and I showed you how to set up interface on it. So today we are going to be moving into the new tab page and we are going to open it first. This is the first step in documentation. Like to document things, you have to have something you want to document. You don't just document an empty drawing board or an empty space. There should be a design on your drawing board that you want to document. So on your drawing board, start on your design with a new tab page and you can quickly open new or existing drawing and access a large selection of design elements. You will have the ability to open templates, update from design fields or design data residing on a 360 project, collaboration software. For question, you can also select the help window, which display tools, location within the interface via an animated arrow. This function acts as a mini AutoCAD tutorial and it is a great resource for any question you may have. If you could remember greatly on the interface, I showed you so many things, so many of these functions. Now, all these are also part of your documentation. It's either you open an existing drawing or you create things. You create tools and you modify them with everything that you have on your interface. And if you also have any question, you can click on the help tab, and if you feel you're not satisfied with the Autodesk community answers, you can also click on Roboter STEM training software and you can drop your question there, then definitely I'm going to answer you. So now, the first thing on documentation is you enjoy enhanced PDF. Now, what does this mean? PDF is a format. Just the same way you have your picture format, you have your JPEG, which is the commonly known format for saving pictures. You have your MVP and you have your MFV. All these are acronyms for so many things like the format at which you can save pictures so that it can be easily accessed by even a layman. So not just someone that owns a software, an AutoCAD software that can be able to access your drawing. Any other person can access it. And this also gives room for other softwares to continue modification on so many softwares. Now, with enhanced PDF, notes and dimension have been added to reinforce the usage of this PDF as professional documentation. Text is searchable in your PDF. If you create a sheet set with hyperlinks to drawings, those links are now maintained. Plotting out a PDF is also quicker because you have more control over the vector raster and image quality of PDF output. This output is the same fidelity at only half the file size. Now, what does all this mean? Now, on your PDF, you can do so many things. You can import a PDF file and you can even output a PDF, like export as a PDF. If you are importing a picture as a PDF, so this saves time. Instead of you to start designing, because this serves as a shortcut, so if you are trying to copy a design or trying to imitate a design, instead of you to start drawing from scratch, you can easily convert a PDF file to a DWG format. Like I told you earlier, AutoCAD saves the drawing format in DWG format. So you can easily choose whether you want this to be in raster or vector or image quality. So you can easily change and choose your image quality on Autodesk AutoCAD. And also at the same time, once you've done one, you don't need to go over the settings again. All these are the improvements on Autodesk AutoCAD 2023, which I would suggest you get, because Autodesk has made a lot of things easier on that. So now moving forward, whenever you are designing in a DWG format, you will notice your file size is quite bulky and very, very high. And this consumes a lot of storage space on your system. But whenever you're converting to PDF, this brings down the total file size, which gives more room for more storage on your system. This is very useful for for some of us that have lower storage devices on our PC. So you can easily save your drawing or save your document, and it will consume lesser space instead of consuming the whole space. But this is only for documentation only, because if you want to continue editing your drawing, I wouldn't suggest you convert it to PDF, because whenever you are importing back from PDF to DWG, you lose the dimensions of your drawing, and you don't really want that. So, but if you're feeling you are just sending it to a client or just for educational purpose, you can easily convert save as PDF. So to save space, then whenever you want to work on the drawing back, you can easily copy it back to the drawing. So now, furthermore, we have your sneak preview, smart dimensioning, and revision cloud on AutoCAD. The sneak preview and smart dimensioning. Smart dimensioning is another critical feature, and it works by automatically creating appropriate dimensions notes based on the type of object you select. Simply pass the cursor over selected objects to see a preview of the dimension before creating it. Now, the sneak preview, this is a new feature that has been added to Autodesk AutoCAD 2023. So some of us using the older version might not have the access to this. That was why I suggest we get the latest version. This automatically dimensions your drawing. Remember, we are still on documentation. Now, a good document will always have the specifications and the dimensions of everything you're building, so that you don't have to confuse those on site that wants to build, or if you're sending your drawing to a manufacturing company, they understand the whole concept of your drawing, of your design, mere looking at your drawing. So a good document must have the perfect dimensioning. An architect can relate to this, where you have so many features. You have your inches, your block types, and you have your 9 inches and so many types of materials in the building. He has to dimension all this, so those on site can know the type of size, the size of block they need to use. So Autodesk AutoCAD has these smart dimensioning features that automatically dimensions your whole drawing. So you don't have to start picking on dimension and start doing them one by one. And you can. I'm going to show you all this on the screen, so you can also imitate this and learn. So if you're not using the latest version, I'll also show you a way you can go around it, so you don't get to lose from this. And we have the view change more easily with revision clouds. Now, what is a revision cloud? A revision cloud is just like a cloud storage. Like, we are all familiar with cloud storage these days, where like you have to like your Google Drive and so on and so forth. So these are storage that enables you to save things on the cloud. I said something earlier, some of us don't have enough storage on our PCs or on any software or on any system we are using to design. So as not to overweight your system and to slow your system down or make it lag, you can easily access the cloud storage, the revision cloud storage. You can save things there. So the revision cloud helps draw attention to specific areas of your drawing that are changing. It can also draw your revision clouds around new changes in the drawing to quickly identify your update. It can easily stretch, it can add to and remove all parts of existing revision clouds, and create revision clouds from almost any object. Whether your revision cloud is rectangular, polygonal, or freehand, it is now easier to edit its size and shape with a grip. Now, it doesn't just automatically save your document on it. It doesn't just automatically save. It can also let you know whenever you are editing the software, just because you have it on a cloud already. So whenever you are making any change to any shape or to any object, it keeps indicating or warning you that, oh, you've already saved this before, so you are modifying it. It's not like a monitor. So this is a monitor. It can also serve, aside from storing your stuff, it can also serve as a monitor to your drawing, just like the work of an instructor. So now, furthermore, we have the ribbon gallery and command preview on AutoCAD. A faster, cleaner workspace with ribbon gallery. Like I showed you on the last drawing on the user interface, we have the ribbon gallery, which is on the topmost of your AutoCAD interface. The ribbon gallery offers a fast and intuitive workflow for users. To add a block to your design, use the ribbon gallery and over the ribbon for a block insertion. The block gallery will display thumbnails of all the block from there. You can insert your selection right away without having to use a dialog box. All these are also documentation. Before you start drawing on your drawing board, you need a pencil. So your ribbon gallery becomes your, how do I put it, like your pause. A pause where you automatically arrange your marker. So you can easily pick any block or layers you're choosing to design this object with. Oh, I want to draw this particular line with a certain layer so that when I click this layer or turn it off, it doesn't affect this. So I'm going to show you all this in the coming drawing, and you're going to see how almost all of this works. So, but their purpose is just, the ribbon gallery is there to help you choose different blocks and different layers to draw or to design any particular component or part. Now, one of the purpose of all this is it saves times with the command preview tools. Another big time saver is the command preview tools, which helps reduce the number of undo commands you make by letting you evaluate the potential change of commands, such as offset, fillet, and trim. The intelligent command line features takes review a step further by including autocorrect, adaptive suggestion, and synonym suggestion. Autocorrect spell checks your inputs and offers suggestion from a synonym list. So you never have to see the command's not found message. Now, what does this command preview tools means? Instead of you to start looking to pick tools, you learn the shortcut. This is basically a shortcut like like I said earlier, from the Autodesk AutoCAD 2020 and above, like to the recent version of the AutoCAD, the command preview tools has been added, which whenever you type a word, like a random word, it automatically brings out the synonyms, like the words that has that. So you can easily click that. It saves time. Instead of you to start looking for where the object is, you can just type them like TR for trim, O for offset, and so on and so forth. I'm going to show you all that on the screen so you can understand better on what I'm displaying. Now, since it is much easier to view all of these new features on the new refined interface, it also helps reduce eye strain. It is easier to see the fine lines, button, and text, which increase functionality and productivity. Get the current version of AutoCAD today to see how all of these new features work seamlessly together. So, like I suggested earlier, if you get the current version of AutoCAD, you will enjoy all these new features, and it saves you time and stress as a new user. So I think we'll be diving into the screen now, so you can see everything I've just explained, so for better understanding. Now, we will be diving into the screen live, to show you everything we've done on documentation. Like we all know, we are still on our documentation on AutoCAD under the CAD and Mechatronics, and we are still on computer-aided design. So now I'm going to show you everything we've discussed earlier, so it doesn't look like magic or African magic to anyone or any students just coming on board. So yeah, and if you don't have the latest version of Autodesk AutoCAD, I will show you some other options on how you can go around these softwares if you don't automatically get some of these things. And like I said earlier, I would suggest you get the latest version to enjoy all of these new features. So now we are on our screen. Like as you can see on the screen, we are on our, once you open the Autodesk AutoCAD 2023, you get this startup menu. Then I have some other drawings I've done here, but for a refresher, we are starting with new, so you can click on the new. Now you notice once we click on new, we have this, our already set up user interface we set up in the last class, and it automatically brings you here. And remember, AutoCAD has 2D and 3D, and for now we are still dealing with the 2D concept because you have to understand 2D before you move into 3D. So now on our 2D, this is the 2D. Now the first thing we want to do on our 2D is dimensioning, how to, I think PDF, yeah, sorry. We are doing PDF first, how to import PDF and how to convert your files, your already drawn files, to PDF. Now, so the first thing you do is, now on the upper button on the, the user interface you said the last time, remember we have this insert. So you click on your insert. Once you click on your insert, it brings you to this menu, and you can see you have it here, your PDF. Once you click on this down button, you have your DGN import, your import, and your PDF import. So once you click on your PDF import, it automatically picks you back to your folder, your system folder, your storage. So now you choose the kind of whatever you want to pick. So when you click on this, okay, let's click on this for instance. Remember, this is just for learning purpose. So when you click on open, as you can see that it automatically brings out everything you have on this PDF. So now let's click on one, because remember we are trying to import a PDF. Now, the purpose of we importing a PDF is not because you want to bypass the regular dimension. And remember, whenever you are importing any drawing from PDF to DWG format, like AutoCAD saves in DWG format. So whenever you are importing a PDF to DWG format, like on AutoCAD, you lose the dimensioning. That is why I wouldn't advise anybody that like a professional designer to always import if not the need arises, like you seriously need it and you still need to work on it to get the proper dimension, because whenever you are importing, I've seen a lot of this many times, trust me, you lose your dimensions. So now let's click on this and let's import this. And now as you can see, it's asking for your PDF data to import. Now you have your vector geometry, your solid fields, true type text, like we said earlier. Now, and your raster image. Now what does all of this does? Now your vector geometry, this is asking you, do you want your DWG format to also be in the same geometry you have in your PDF without changing it? Remember, if you're having a complicated geometry on your PDF, your Autodesk AutoCAD automatically converts it to circle, spheres, or arcs. Because if you don't click this, if you don't make sure this box is ticked, you get an image where you can't even work on. You have your solid fields. Your solid fields are like arch. Like we're still going to discuss that. Your arch is when on your PDF format, if you're having a picture that has an area that is solidly filled, like a dark space, where you're converting to DWG. If you don't have that kind of materials you are using on your PDF on your AutoCAD, it automatically converts them to solid fields. So these solid fields, they are just like the option, like for instance, maybe you are importing an object from PDF to DWG, and the materials on your PDF, your Autodesk AutoCAD does not have it. It automatically turns these materials into solid fields. So you have to know how to get your way around it. And your text, there are so many calligraphy out there. So whenever you are importing from from PDF to DWG, some text, some calligraphy might not be found, or some are automatically on Autodesk AutoCAD. So make sure this box is checked. It automatically updates your text, like the same calligraphy, the same style. Now, if you notice, I didn't click this last box that has raster image. This raster image is an option used whenever you're trying to import pictures or drawings that has images. And Autodesk AutoCAD cannot open that image. It automatically converts them to raster image, and you don't want that, trust me. So this is only useful whenever you're dealing with architectural models or structural models, whereby even though it brings it out in raster images, you are trying to imitate what it looks like. So you have it there to compare and contrast instead of you to start minimizing over and over again. This is the only thing I think raster image is very useful for over the years. So you have your layers. Now, under your import PDF, you have to go through the settings of use PDF layers, create object layers, or current layers. Now, in our other class, we talked about layers and blocks. Layers and blocks are like your drawing pen, which you use to draw. So now, the PDF format you are importing, they also come in, all these stuffs are also being designed with a different software. So now, if these are being designed with a different software entirely, so it is asking you whether you want to use your PDF layers, like the default layers your PDF is coming from, or you want to create object layer, like it will create new layers for each object. Now trust me, these are the advanced features that comes with the new version of Autodesk AutoCAD 2023. And you have the last one, your create layers, your current layers. This current layer means the current layer you are using, like you are using in your drawing, don't mind me, I've currently not choose a layer. Assuming I have a layer there already, it will create the whole image using that layer. So it will not create, but this time I would suggest, as coming up, you should always go for use PDF layer. Trust me, it automatically imports and it automatically creates new layers for you. This is very nice on Autodesk AutoCAD 2023. And you have your import options. Now, it is asking you, do you want to import as block? You want to import as join lines and arc segments? You want to convert solid fields to arches? You want to apply line weight and properties, and you want to infer line types from collinear dashes. Now, as you can see on the screen there, automatically Autodesk AutoCAD will pick two boxes for you. It will pick the join arcs and arc segments and apply line weight properties. Now, what does all these stuff implement? If you are importing as block, if you click this box, whatever you are importing comes as a whole object. It will be very hard for you to work on them whenever they come as whole objects unless you explode them. And like I said earlier, whenever you are importing, you lose dimensions. So you don't want to import as block, because whenever you import as block, you lose your dimensioning, and you trust me, you don't want to lose them, because either they come smaller or they come bigger. The second box, join lines and arc segments. Whatever you are importing from PDF to DWG format, they might come in any shape. If you don't check this box, the image will automatically comes as raster image. But once you make sure this is being checked, any round shapes you have on your PDF format, Autodesk AutoCAD will automatically convert them to arcs and segments, so you can be able to work on them just like your regular DWG new drawing you are opening. Now you have convert solid fields to arches. I think I've already explained that before, because now this is very useful when you are converting any fields, like any solid shapes. Like, whatever you are importing from PDF now, it comes in different dimensions, from 1D, 2D to 3D shapes or pictures. So this automatically converts dense areas in your pictures or your image or your text, whatever you are importing. The dense area that Autodesk AutoCAD can't pick, it automatically converts them to arch. So on your arch, you can easily work on it. Since it's an arch, then you can go to your arch menu on your interface and choose what kind of arch it is later further on, just to further work on it. So apply line weight and properties. Remember, when we are creating layers, there's something called line weight. Your line weight is how thick do you want your lines to be. Whenever you are drawing a pen, your pen ball point, whatever you are drawing with, how thick do you want it to be? Do you want it to be as thick as a pen or as thick as a marker? So some of your drawing comes with different types of line widths, different types of line widths. So this box is there to help you tick those boxes, so it comes as it is in the PDF, like no changes. But once you uncheck this box, they automatically comes as tiny lines. So whenever you're having thick lines on your PDF format, it doesn't bring it as PDF if you don't check this box, and it brings it as tiny width, and you might not like that. But if you want it to automatically convert it to tiny width, you can uncheck this. But trust me, as a someone that is just coming up, you want this check. So your infer line types from collinear dashes, like whenever you are, this means whenever you have on your DWG format, you have a drawing that has dashes. Instead of if Autodesk AutoCAD can't see that kind of line, it automatically converts them to the nearest type of line you have in your AutoCAD load type. Remember, when we are creating our our layers, we have something called line type and we have line weight. We've explained line weight. Now this is the line types. So it automatically converts any line types it sees similar to the one we have on Autodesk AutoCAD. It converts it to it, so it makes it look like whatever you are importing is good. So now diving in, you have to get this box checked, like this convert solid fields to arches, then click on OK. If you notice it is loading, and there you have it. Can you see that? As we import this, it imports it in the same text we have it as PDF. And everything that it can see, it turns them to raster image, because we have that box checked. So that is that on importing. So now Control A, delete. Let's delete this now. Let's go back to our home button. So now the next thing we're having on our drawing is how to convert documentation, like how to save your drawing as documents to PDF format. Now I've just shown you how to import drawings, how to import anything from PDF to DWG. Now how about how to convert DWG to PDF? This is very simple. You can easily go to your print section, just press Ctrl P. Can you see that? Now you have your plot. Now if you don't want to use the shortcut version, you can close this out, type plot. Come here to your type a command here, click this and type plot, P-L-O-T. Can you see that? Enter and you have it here. So I have just shown you two ways on how to get to your plot version. So once you see this, it brings you up to this setup. Now remember, this same setup is the basic setup that you always use to document any of your drawings on AutoCAD, on Autodesk AutoCAD. Whatever version you are using, your Ctrl P still serves the same purpose, and your plot still means the same thing. So now, as you can see on this page setup, you have your name. You can easily import a setup from any site, any online. But I wouldn't suggest you do that, because some people's setups might differ from the one you want. So let's create our own setup. So now, come here to this printer and plotter, like this printer or plotter. Now click on this none. As you can see, it brings in so many options on how to save your document. Are you saving OneNote for Windows 10? Are you saving your DWG for OneNote desktop? Are you saving it as Microsoft XPS document writer, Microsoft printer to PDF, to fax, AutoCAD PDF, and so on, and you have the varieties of options. So the commonly ones you use, like to convert your DWG to PDF, you see it here. Can you see that? DWG to PDF. Once you click this, like, you know, notice the whole, everything here changes. Okay, now let's open a new drawing. So we test this setup on a real life drawing. So it doesn't look like magic. Okay, I have a drawing, I already opened it. Yeah, here is a drawing, like here is just a random drawing. So now we are trying to print this on A4, like we are trying to print it out as hard copy. Remember, AutoCAD is a computer-aided design software. It is a software and you can't touch this physically, but you need something you can hold. So let's type our Control P, and you see that now it brings us here. Like I said earlier, you open your DWG to PDF. Once you click this, once you get this clicked, as you can see, it brings you a PDF option and you leave that there. Now your paper size. Make sure, before you choose the paper size, always make sure this, as if you notice your plot scale, it has already automatically checked this fits to paper, and on your own version, you might not have it there because this is an updated version. I already have this here, but if you're using the older version, it will not get this fit to paper checked for you. So I would advise you click that button and you check this, center the plot too. This tool works for whatever you are dimensioning or you are printing on your paper, it automatically brings them to the center of the paper, no matter how small it is. So you don't have to start moving objects up and down, like from edges down to the center. No, it automatically brings it to the center and fits it to the kind of paper you're using. So now we have this paper size. Now let's choose paper size. As you can see, there are varieties of paper size. So if you are in America, you can see this. You have the American standard, ANSI, and you have the architectural standard for architects, that anybody that is doing any architectural models, and you have the ISO, which is the International Standard Organization. So I would advise you go for international standard because this is just the generally accepted things. So you can see that you have your A1, A2, A3, and one thing you will notice, we have two types of A1. You have your A1 594.00 and by 841, and you have your A1 841 by 594.00. These are basically the same thing. It is just the same way you have your A4 paper and you have it turned to landscape or portrait size. So AutoCAD will give you this version to show you, do you want to print your drawing in landscape, or you want to print it on like your paper bent overside, or you have it on your portrait side. Your portrait is the vertical one, and you have your landscape on your horizontal. So it depends on your choice or on how you want your drawing to be printed out. So I would advise, like for me now, I'll be going for A4. So now let's print this out on A4 and I'll be going for this version. Now notice whatever you are picking, there's a little screen here that shows you how your drawing will come out. Whatever you're printing, how you want it to print out. So it automatically shows you this is how your drawing will be printed from this red line here showing on this screen. Like, so this is to tell you it will be printed on the landscape view, not the portrait view. So if I choose the other A4 format, it will show me the, let's try that. So I'm choosing A4, ISO A4. Okay, good. Now we've choose 210 by 297. Now let's choose the 297. Can you see that? So it automatically brings me back to the landscape here, and the other time it was showing the portrait. Now it is the landscape. So this is just to tell you your drawing will be printed out in this format. So once you get that done, and here you can choose the number of copies you want to print, like whatever number of copies you want to save it as. And the next step we are going to be doing on your converting DWG to PDF format is your display. Now it actually brings some options for you. You have your display, you have your extent, limit, and windows. Now your extent will basically work from, I want to print from this extent to this extent. And for a fresher or for a beginner, I wouldn't advise you go down to that stage. That is very useful once you're printing out in 3D format, and once we get there, I'm going to show you how that works. And your limit also works whenever you're printing from this point to this point to point, and it grabs everything on the screen. But I wouldn't advise you use that tool right now. So for the basic knowledge, you go for Windows. So when you click on Windows, you note the box vanishes and we are off to our selection cursor. Then you pick from any angle you want your drawing to start from this side to this side. Now, once you notice, whenever I click from that side to that side, the screen automatically changes back to what I'm doing. Now I am having two windows instead of one before. So this is to tell me I've chosen Windows and I've scaled a drawing. Now you have here, you have your plot style table. Now, can you see that you have your non-AutoCAD DWG virtual pen? Now, if you choose none, your drawing automatically saves as white and black. Can you see that? Your grayscale, it automatically change your drawing to white and black. Your monochrome will also be just one color. Whatever color you've done on your design will not show. So I would advise you always go for DWG virtual pen. So this automatically brings out whatever color you use on your drawing will be printed on your paper. If you don't click this DWG virtual pen, it automatically brings out your drawing in black and white or any other color or your screening CTB. So let's choose DWG virtual. Okay, assign this plus style. Okay, yes, it's automatically done that because we didn't pick a layer at first. So now we have your shaded plot as displayed. Everything is normal. Plot options, you don't plot in background, you plot objects in line width. Your plot transparency, you can leave that unchecked. You don't want your plot to be transparent, you don't want your drawing to have overlays. And you have your plot with plot styles. This is just whatever style you are using, or whatever calligraphy you are using, it will convert it to PDF in that same calligraphy. Whether PDF has it or not, it just comes from the way you print it in AutoCAD, Autodesk AutoCAD. Then your plot stamps on, we don't have any stamps on this drawing, so you don't want that check. Your save changes to layout, you don't have to have that check. Now, to our portrait and landscape, can you see it now? Because we are now printing in landscape, it automatically checks this landscape button for me. If you are using the older version of Autodesk AutoCAD, you might not get this checked. So just watch this drawing and make sure this is checked and center the plot and everything. So with all this in place, I think we are good. So now underneath here, you have the preview, you have the apply to layout, OK, cancel, and help. Your preview, once we click this, it automatically brings out what your document will look like before you start printing. So you don't have errors. So you don't have to go over the mistakes. That is basically what a good CAD system does. So you have your apply to layout. This is basically apply your everything you do here to your drawing, and you don't want that because this is just being done for documentation purpose. I might want to come back to my drawing and review some other things, and I don't want that to be printed in my printing. You have your OK to click on OK like you're done with this, and it automatically saves to PDF. You have your cancel button for canceling the whole of this operation or the whole of this command, and you have your help. Remember we talked about help in our last class, like whenever you're confused about a command, you can easily click the help button and it takes you to Autodesk community whereby you can ask for help, and if you're very, very confused, you'll come to Roberta STEM training website and drop your question. You'll definitely get an answer. So right now, once we're done with all of this setup, we click on preview. Can you see that? So now on the screen here, it has automatically shown me what my drawing will look like whenever I'm printing it out. With the specific line weight, as you can see that, the same thing printed out in the same. So now, as you can see, this it brings it out in the form of a plain paper. You can zoom in and zoom out, like just using your mouse, zoom in and zoom out. Can you see that? So once it has shown you this, if you have any correction to make to this, you click on this cancel button and you can print it directly from here. But I would advise you save this first before you print, because most times AutoCAD might not detect your printer immediately, especially if you don't have a printer connected to your system, or maybe you want to print it later. So then you right click. Once you right click, it brings out these options. Now all these are the same options you have here on this icon, but you just right click for a faster move. So click on plot. Once you click on plot, can you see that now it brings you to your document, your in-house, your system folder, like your storage device. So you can choose where to save your. I'll be saving this under Roberta, and I have some couple of drawings saved. So now let's save this as drawing 1 or document 1. Okay, drawing 1. Okay, drawing 1. Now, so enter. Can you see that? Now you have your plot and publish job complete. Can you see that my Adobe Reader automatically opens it? Now, this automatically opening of PDF format only works on the latest version. The latest version of AutoCAD from 2020 upward. Every other versions won't automatically access your PDF opener, but the latest version does that, and thanks to Autodesk for that. So that is that on your, so once you're done with that, you close that, and that is that on PDF, how to import PDF and how to convert your drawing to PDF for easy accessibility for documentation. And this can also be shared to layman's, okay, this is what my drawing actually looks like in hard copy. So it is no more computer-aided design, it has become an hard copy of what you design, like just like the same. So if you're an artist, you can draw from here, then import it out as paper, then you have it on PDF. And I might decide not to convert it to PDF. You also use your Control P. Once you have your Control P, this conversion, can you see that you can convert to any format like DWG to PDF and DWG to from web to PNG, which is for normal picture, and to JPEG, which is also a normal picture. So you can choose to convert your drawing. You don't want it to PDF, you can convert it to JPEG and anything you want to do by using the same command, Control P, or typing out the word plot in your command section and pressing enter. Then we're good to go. So now the next thing we are doing is sorry, we are done with that. So now sneak preview and smart dimensioning. Now sneak preview is to access sneak preview is actually something you have to pay for. Like, it's just what you have to pay for on Autodesk AutoCAD. Like I told you, this isn't a free, it's not a free CAD software. This is actually, you have to pay for subscriptions. So to access sneak preview, you have to pay for it. And smart dimensioning also, you have to pay for that, but we already done that. So now what does smart dimensioning do? Instead of it to start picking dimensioning one after the other, like dimensioning, this is dimensions. When you click on dimension, can you see that? And I click this point to this point. Can you see that? It automatically brings out like the distance between here, which is 10 inches, like 10 inches difference from this point to this point. If I want to pick out all this, to save the stress of picking out all these points one after the other, press the word escape and press DIMC. Can you see that? So you have your dimension continue. This is your smart dimension. Once you click on this, you notice it automatically continue my dimension from where I stop. So I can easily pick the point here. Can you see that? Here, then I can go on and on, like here, then to this side. Can you see that? Here, then so on and so forth. So for how long I want my lines to be. So this is actually one of the key features of the new software, like on your smart dimension for the latest release on AutoCAD, where it helps you to automatically dimension things very fast. So you don't have to keep on pressing dimension or pressing D enter to dimension object, and so you can do that very easily. And also the other way to dimension things without using dimension for old users, if you are using older versions of Autodesk AutoCAD, like 207, 2018, you might not have your dimension here. You can press your D, just type D, enter. Can you see that? Okay, no, okay. Press DI, distance. Can you see that? And enter. You can see that. So if you're using older version, once you press your distance, it automatically shows you the distance between this point and this point. Can you see that? It is already here, like 10. Like already on the screen, you can have the delta X to be 10. It will show you delta X or delta Y. If you are on your straight axis, you are on your X axis, and if you are on your Y axis, on this horizontal axis, you are on your Y axis. Just like your basic school graph, like the same way you have your graphs in school, you have your X and Y axis, and your Z axis once you're going to slope. Like that's for the mathematics, so we're not diving into that. So that is that on our smart dimensioning and sneak preview. So the next stop we're going to is a faster and cleaner workspace with ribbon gallery, and also our command preview too. So now, your ribbon gallery is basically what you have up here on the screen, from your lines, polylines, arc, and so on and so forth. Remember, we all set this up on our interface. All these must be there to enhance your fast performance, and whatever you are designing, time is always a factor. You don't want to spend too much time. Even as a learner, you should always tend to work with time on your CAD software, and you don't want to waste so much time on designing. So that is why you have all of this here. So instead of punching out commands, you can easily pick them, like your lines. I can pick a line here, and so on. And then if I don't want to pick a line, I can easily type line. Can you see that? Line, and I can draw my line from here. Now your command preview too If you notice, whenever you type anything, so you don't have to necessarily come down to your type a command box to type a command. Anywhere on your screen, whenever you type the word L, can you see that it brings out so many options for me? Like L can stand for line, your length, your layers, your layout, list, and it is also showing you your short words you can type. Now, like I said earlier, these features are only accessible on the latest version of Autodesk AutoCAD. Some other versions might not have this, so you have to type out your full command, or you have to look for your this box that says type a command here and click here and type a command. But on this latest release of Autodesk AutoCAD, it is already there. Like, so you can just click on line. I want to type line. Then if I want to type layout, can you see that layers? I can click on layers and it automatically opens my layers for me. So I don't have to start going up to the layers and start clicking layers. Let's close this. So these are just shortcuts that enhance better documentation on Autodesk AutoCAD like so. So we are done with ribbon gallery and command preview. So all of these are the latest development on Autodesk AutoCAD. So whenever you are done with any design or any drawing on your Autodesk AutoCAD software, documentation is always the last thing you want to do. It is the last thing you do to your drawing, so make it a perfect drawing. So whoever looking at your drawing anywhere can know, oh, I can touch this, because you don't have to necessarily pick your system up and down to show people this is what I draw. You can easily get them printed out in JPEG image, so it can be saved on your mobile phone and it can be mobile. You can show anybody, oh, this is my design. All this boils down to documentation. So see you in the next class on Autodesk AutoCAD.